Here I'm taking inspiration from the work of the German Expressionists and also the work of printmaker David Jones on here. So the first thing I'm going to do is create a design for my polystyrene print on here. So I've already got one here and I'm deciding to just do a second one, so I've got a choice on here. So I'm taking inspiration from the work of the artist we've chosen and just making it my own really, and creating this cheerful character on here. I'm adding enough pattern and detail to create an interesting print. However, don't put the lines too close together, as when you work on a poly print, it's going to make quite a wide line on here. So if you've got too much detail, you would struggle with that on here. And adding the detail in the background, nice neat line. You could work in a pencil and then with a pen if you wanted to as well. Then I'm going to put it up top of my polystyrene sheet, and with a writing pen, just going to go over the main lines, pressing firmly on here. So it's going to make an indent and a light line on my polystyrene sheet. So here I'm just going over the main outline, not doing everything. You can see it's indented really lightly, just enough for me to be able to go over the lines on here. So here I'm going to go over the lines and add the detail. I'm going to press a little bit harder. You want to press about halfway through, so you want enough of a kind of a clear indent on here, but not too much, so you don't break the polystyrene and go to the other side. You can see a little bit closer on here what you need. So sometimes you need to go over a couple of times. Just take your time and carve it nice and slowly. To do the dots, you just do a little hole on there, and you might need to go over, and I just said, to create the right depth on here. So here I'm adding some detail and kind of patterns in the hair and body on here. Same, just nice and slow, work on the accuracy so you get really good design and you'll get a really good print as well. So last bit of detail, the stripes in the shirts and the little dots in the background, just punching some holes basically. Same about halfway through, not too deep. I'm ready to print. So I'm just putting a little bit of ink on a kind of an ink tray, or here I've got a plastic sheet, and making a thin layer with my roller. So you need to make sure your ink is spread nice and thin. Then spread it on your polystyrene sheet and press it down with a second roller. And repeating this, you want to do 2 or 3 prints. So you've got choice on there. So here I've got 2 really good prints. I'm going to leave it to that. So I've washed my printing plate and dried it thoroughly. Make sure there's absolutely no wet bits, or it's not going to print properly. And I'm printing a second color. So here I've decided to choose black. So you've got high contrast on here, and it creates a nice effect on here. So now with my 2 prints, I'm going to keep 2 as they are. I'm going to use 2 to create a collage, and I've ended up with a kind of a 2-color portrait on here. So here you can go really simple and just cut and swap the backgrounds, or like the top on here I've cut the shirt, or you can do something a little bit more intricate, which I've decided to do on here. So here I've decided to cut the hair to have kind of that effect with the hair. And I'm going to cut exactly the same areas in my second print on here. So I want to cut the background, the shirt and the hair exactly in the same way I've done in the first one, so I can create 2 prints on here and they match perfectly. So they're going to go back together a little bit like a jigsaw. And here we go. On this one, I've decided to also swap the eye colors to add a little bit of interest. Now I'm ready. I'm going to glue them on a new sheet of paper. Make sure that it goes down nice and secure on here, and I'm going to glue the other one so I get 2 prints on here, and swapping that over, and here we go, my final piece.